I'm back. Let me see YouTube look. I'll be right back, y'all. Well, I'm still here, but I want to see what YouTube boot up. Yep, YouTube booted up. Alright. Alright, y'all. I'm a little under the weather. Not I won't even say under the weather because that it doesn't fit me. I just feel just weird. It's a weird day for me today. It's a weird day for me today. You know, I just hope this would be a great day at some point. All right. I think I just might just should start the show. All right. Hit the like, um, subscribe and share button. And I'm gonna say in the beginning for now, try to do it now for now on. Thank you to all the developers and people in the gaming industry that watch this show. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the gamers who watch this show. And I just appreciate everybody that support this show. You know, without y'all, it'd be hard for me to keep doing the show, especially doing it every day, literally every day. You know, I try not to make it be repetitive. That's why I try to get y'all to come on the show so we could talk about how y'all feel, what y'all think, how you know, just come on the show and just talk in general. Um, yeah, you know, this is our show. I keep telling y'all, it's not Poe's show, it's y'all show, it's everybody's show. This show, I touched on this before, but I want to touch on it again because I'm a content creator, but I'm not a content creator that scares developers. A content creator that can get people behind, you know, get people be behind me, you know, to help me, to help push what I'm trying to do. I don't have that many people, you know. Yeah, I have 400 people that subscribe to my YouTube, but them 400 people, nobody signing a survey. I mean, nobody signed the petition to get a survey. My thing is, what do y'all fear about a survey? What do y'all fear? It's just, hey, I'm gonna sign, you know, fill out the you know, what why does it bother y'all to put your name on a petition to get a survey? My thing is, it's going to force these developer hands because they can't say they don't have data. The way they do it, they could say, well, we got data that says this, or y'all don't really know what y'all want. They could frame it any way they want. But if they make a third party survey, that pushes their hands. And y'all think I'm just a random guy just making up stuff. Do your research on it. Do research and see, does a survey make sense? A third party survey makes sense. It holds companies accountable. It makes the publishers and investors, they will put money into the things that we want in a game. They say, oh, they want that. I never knew they wanted that. We were assuming. Y'all think everything that I do, I'm not an 18-year-old. No disrespect to the 18-year-olds. But I'm not a 10-year-old. I'm not even a 20 or 30-year-old. I've been around for a while. When I'm saying these surveys and stuff, they do look at them. They do look at them. And the thing is, when we get a survey made, if they decide, like, we get enough people to sign a petition, I don't know why people scared to sign petitions that actually force people's hands. This generation, no disrespect to y'all, but I'm talking to the ones that do. They don't, hey, it don't work. It never work. It's not going to work. And that's what they bank on. Us not sticking together. People want everybody to stick together when it benefits them. My thing is, I want us to stick together when it benefits us. If anybody ever paid attention to anything I do, it's not for me. That's why I always say options. I wouldn't say options. I would be like, I just want it to be a hardcore boxing game and nothing else. I just want tendencies and nothing else. But that's not what I do. I'm a community person. I want everybody to be represented. Everybody to have a game, a version of the game that they can play, that they're comfortable with. I want everybody to be comfortable with what they want. And I know this might rub some people wrong when they see this episode, but it's no attack on you. It might rub you wrong. If it rub you wrong, that's you. But I'm not attacking all the content creators. It's in general. All right, let me start off. First, let me say peace to everybody that's here, that came and watched the show or listening to it later on. Peace to you. The show happens at 6 p.m. every day except on Sunday, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. All right, let me start. The illusion of powerlessness. The illusion of powerlessness. There's the narrative floating around that we can't change anything. I keep hearing that over and over again. It's like they try to hypnotize and make you believe it. Leave it alone. It's like that person said, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't pull that curtain. We don't need to know what's behind that curtain. Leave it alone. All right, let me get back to it because I will get sidetracked real easy. Okay. The developers would, all right, there's a narrative floating around that we can't change anything, that developers will do what they want, that feedback doesn't matter. That is out of our hands. That's not accurate. The reality is this: boxing games are not niche. The community is smaller than mainstream sports titles. Not really. Not really. They kind of smaller than like NBA 2K and Madden. But the thing is, those fans want to play a boxing game that represent the sport accurately. People don't realize that if the game was made the way those games were made, it would attract more people. I was not a didn't like NBA at all. I wasn't an NBA fan. But NBA 2K and the earlier no, I played older games like Atari, NBA, and stuff like that. But I played with them a little bit. I wasn't really interested in them make me watch basketball or interested in basketball. But 2K more than EA made me more interested in basketball. I started learning certain basketball players. learning certain things, made me just, even if I watched it casually, it made me know certain things about basketball. Now, if a boxing game could do the same thing, it would be better. Because for one, you're getting people that are fighting game fans, sports game fans, and boxing game fans. And just because the fighting game fans come over to a sports gaming fan, for a sports game, doesn't mean the game should be a fighting game. It should be a boxing game. It should be a sports game. And that's where the developers always go wrong. They try to make the game similar to Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and all those games. I know y'all getting tired of me keep saying that. All right, let me see. Engagement numbers matters more here than almost anywhere else. Engagement numbers matter here more than anywhere else, which means influence is concentrated, means the influencers, content creators mean more than they say they do. My thing is, a lot of them, they don't care to push push boxing or stuff like that. Just on base level, they don't really care. Which means influence is concentrated. If you create undisputed content, if you stream it, if you critique it, if you stop playing it, that movement will be visible. If you create undisputed content, if you stream it, if you critique it, if you stop playing it, that movement will be visible. And visibility is not a niche market. That's leverage. That's leverage. The rise and the silent. The rise and the silent. When Undisputed first hit the scene, every update was dissected. Every exploit was exposed. Every flaw was debated. Every improvement was amplified. There was passion, there was energy, there was accountability. Now, silence. Now, silence. Creators who once critiqued mechanics deeply now avoid hard discussions. Creators who once critiqued mechanics deeply now avoid hard discussions. Players who once demanded simulation level realism now shrug and move on. People who once wanted footwork depth, they wanted more depth through the footwork, punch, physics, authenticity, defensive nuance, now just want something playable. That shift didn't happen because standards improved. It happened because fatigue set in. The responsibility of influence. Let's be honest for a minute. If you are a content creator in this space, you are not just a player, you are a signal amplifier. When you downplay broken mechanics, avoid discussing core gameplay flaws, only focus on cosmetic updates, or pivot away entirely without explanation, you shape perception. And perception shapes development priorities. Perception shapes development priorities. I know this for a fact. Developers respond to engagement metrics, retention, sentiment trends, Creator tone. Creator tone. If creators normalize mediocrity stabilizes. If creators demand excellence consistently, excellence becomes the survival requirement. That's not hostility. That's market dynamics. Let me see if anybody come up in here. No, okay. The community that wanted a boxing simulation. Remember, many of us asked for realistic punch physics, true stamina consequences, footwork that matters, defensive layers beyond block spam, tactical ring control, meaningful damage systems, not arcade chaos, not surface level realism. A boxing simulation that desires hasn't disappeared. That desire has not disappeared. It's just quiet. And quiet communities don't move studios. And quiet communities don't move studios. Why the silence happen? Let's not ignore reality. Silence doesn't always mean apathy. Sometimes it means burnout, repetition fatigue, fear of backlash, loss of hope, algorithm pressure, not wanting to burn bridges. And this is the main thing right here. Not wanting to burn bridges. Not wanting to burn bridges. And I get that. But silence is a niche. Silence in a so-called niche genre doesn't just preserve comfort. It reshapes the product. When critiques fade, so does urgency. When critiques fade, so does urgency. When critiques fade, so does urgency. The power you actually have. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If major creators in this space collectively said, we want deeper simulation systems, we're not satisfied yet, that matters. If the community consistently engage around mechanics breakdowns, authentic boxing analysts, system level design critiques, long-term vision discussions, that would matter. If players stop rewarding surface fixes and demand structural improvements, that would matter. This is not about attacking developers. It's about evaluating standards. This is not about attacking developers. It's about elevating standards, excuse me. It's about elevating standards. Constructive accountability. Let me check the chat. Let me see. Got one vote. Okay. What does constructive power look like? It looks like specific feedback, not emotional outrage. Comparative boxing analysts, frame by frame breakdowns, data driven critique. That's where the survey comes into play. Transparent discussions, not hate campaigns, not personal attacks, not drama farming. Accountability is not toxicity. And silence is not maturity. And silence is not maturity. And silence is not maturity. The boxing game, we still want the truth. A true boxing simulation has not been fully realized yet. A true boxing simulation has not truly been realized yet. And I know when y'all hear the word simulation, y'all think over the top stuff. And that's not what I'm talking about. And that's not what a lot of us mean. We're still chasing reactive AI with tendencies, dynamic fatigue shaping punch mechanics, real ring generalship, psychological momentum systems, defensive IQ layers, clinch death, damage state transitions. The blueprint is possible. The appetite still exists. My appetite ain't going nowhere. But appetite without voice changes nothing. But appetite without voice changes nothing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but I know my voice alone cannot move anything. I know my voice alone cannot move anything. And shout out to the people that do support me, and I appreciate y'all. To the creators, if you create content in this space, you don't need to attack anyone. You don't need to start drama, but you do need to decide. Are you documenting a journey towards excellence or stabilizing something that still needs evaluation? Your voice carries weight, even when you pretend it doesn't. Even when you pretend it doesn't. Even when you pretend it doesn't. To the community, if you're going quiet, why? If y'all went quiet, why? Come on, Poe trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help y'all. I need y'all support. Do the survey. I got a survey. We call it a mock survey. Do that survey. But if you do the survey that I made, it makes the developers see, hey, they really do want a survey. This is what they want. Let's see, do what they want off a poll survey aligns with what they want with our survey or with a third-party survey. But y'all always think nothing works. You can't say nothing doesn't work if you don't try. They say, well, it didn't work in the past. Come on, man. Still, if you've gone quiet, why? Are you satisfied or just tired? Because those are different things. And if you still want the boxing game you imagined years ago, silence isn't neutral, like being neutral. Silence isn't being neutral. It's momentum, just in the opposite direction. Let me see. The people who are capable of shaping the future of boxing games are the same people who stop speaking, not the developers, not the publishers, the creators, the analysts, the hardcore boxing heads, the ones who said they wanted realism, the ones who said they wanted simulation, the ones who said, don't give us arcade, give us boxing. Where did that energy go? Where did that energy go? This is a deep dive. There was a moment, a real one, There was a moment, a real one, where the boxing gaming community was aligned. We wanted mechanics, we wanted nuance, we wanted physics, we wanted AI tendencies, we wanted true ring IQ. Now the conversation feels surface level. And that shift didn't happen randomly. Here's something people underestimate. In a so-called niche genre, influence is magnified. In Call of Duty, one creator doesn't move the needle. In Madden, one voice is a ripple. In boxing gaming, 5 major creators saying the same thing is an earthquake. 5 major creators saying the same thing is an earthquake. The audience is somewhat smaller. But if the game is made right, it could be massive. The genre is starving. The demand is concentrated. That means leverage is stronger. So when that leverage goes quiet, so does pressure. When that leverage goes quiet, so does pressure. The monetization effect. Let's be real. Content creation is business. If strong criticism hurts assets, if strong criticism reduces early builds, if strong criticism limits developer interaction, if strong criticism trigger community backlash, if strong criticism lowers algorithm favorability, then neutrality becomes safer. Being neutral becomes safer. I'm gonna say it like that. All right. Silence becomes strategy, and it gets better. And is getting better because becomes comfortable. And it's getting better becomes comfortable. But safe commentary doesn't build elite products. Pressure does. Safe commentary doesn't build elite products. Pressure does. The normalization of is fine. The normalization of is fine. They're the phrase I've heard too much. It's fine. Fine stamina. Fine punch tracking. Fine footwork. Fine AI. But fine isn't simulation. Fine isn't generational. Fine isn't what boxing fans waited a decade for, over a decade. When fine becomes the ceiling, evolution stops. The quiet hardcore. There are players who still study boxing film. There are players who break down mechanics, analyze punch angles, care about weight transfer, care about fatigue realism, care about ring positioning. They don't disappear. They just stop talking. Why? Because repeating the same critiques for months without systematic change is exhausting. But exhaustion doesn't remove responsibility, especially if you build a platform around real boxing talk. When critiques become negativity, here's another culture shift. Critique analysts start becoming labeled as negativity. Want deeper AI logic? Negative. Want stamina consequences? Negative. Want footwork realism? Negative. But demanding higher standards isn't negativity. It's alignment with the original vision. Boxing is not casual. It's brutal. It's strategic. It's layered. Why are we afraid to demand that from a boxing simulation or a boxing game? Because I know y'all fear that word, simulation. Developers respond to pressure patterns. Developers and companies respond to pressure patterns. Let's talk development psychology. Studios respond to what gets engagement, what trends, what retains players, what creators amplify. What creators amplify. What creators amplify. If the loudest conversations are cosmetics and roster updates, guess what's getting prioritized? If the loudest conversations are AI logic, footwork realism, and damage systems, guess what get prioritized? You don't influence through anger, you influence through consistency. You influence through consistency. The difference between hope and accountability. The difference between hope and accountability. There's a difference between I hope it gets better and it must get better. Hope is passive. Accountability is active. If you say you want the best boxing game ever made, your tone should reflect urgency, not apathy. And my thing, like I keep telling y'all, we have other companies listening to my show. We have developers from other companies listen to the show. So I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to help y'all out so y'all can get on. Y'all got to push for a boxing game to be better. Y'all got to push for this survey. Y'all got to push for this survey. When they get the numbers, I can hand it to developers. And when I say developers, I'm not focused on Steel City. It may seem like I'm focused on Steel City. No, I'm focused on getting a game that respects the sport. And Steel City does not respect the sport. They look at this as a fighting game. They look at this as children are playing a game. They look at it as it's not really that serious. But it does become serious when money is involved. You're not giving us a free game. You're not giving it to us for $5 or $2. So we have every right. People like me have every right to voice what I'm saying. And stop to the content creators that try to silence me and all that. Poe, maybe if you play it this way, maybe if you do this, man. No, stop, man. What you're doing is you're taking up for the company. You want me to be quiet. You don't want me to gain no traction. I'm not trying to be an elite or a great content creator. My thing is I want more people to see that boxing needs to be represented accurately and have the same respect as other sports games. I got to do it for the boxers that won't do it, because a lot of boxers really don't care. There's the boxers that do care. They don't really say anything. The boxers that do care do not say anything. The fear of burning bridges. This one's delicate. Creators don't want to lose assets. I said that earlier. Lose interviews. Lose inside info. Lose labeled difficult. Be labeled difficult, excuse me. And my thing is, you don't get the interviews. The only interviews you get when they set them up. They set up, like, if they have an event, that's the only thing you get. And what you do is they do if they do what they used to do when they do the with the developers and stuff, and they let y'all get the first crack at it. Hey, we're about to put out a video. Y'all get first crack at it. That's it. But y'all don't get no actual videos. You know what Steel City need to do? Or any company that's making a video game. Any company. And I hope y'all listen to me. Let me question y'all. Let me ask y'all questions. Because a lot of people think that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to game development. A lot of people think I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to game development. Let me ask the questions. Let me question y'all. Let me interview y'all. And y'all could literally send me a list of like, well, don't ask us this because we can't answer that. And I won't. I won't ask you that. But if it's like, hey, ask us anything you want, and we're not going to answer it, you know, or it's up to you. But my thing is, I think a lot of developers fear me because I'm older and I kind of was in the industry. I was kind of in the industry, and I'm older and I've been a gamer and I've been like not one of them surface level gamers. I literally go and do research. So that makes me dangerous. I do my research to the so-called fans, but Poe, he think he know everything because he old, because you know, experience always trumps anything else. Yes, a person could be younger than me and they went to school for game development. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is me. Hey, you went to school for it. All right, let's debate about it. Let's debate about it. See, do I know what I know what I'm talking about? You know so much you would be making a video game. No, that's not how things work with me. That's not how my brain is wired. That's not what I want to do. I love video games, but me trying to literally sit there, I wish I could do what Love C Shorty does. He has patience for it. Even though I'm patient and humble and all that, I can't do what Love C Shorty does. And shout out to Brizzle. Brizzle said it takes math. He said you gotta, when it comes to when you're doing coding and gaming and stuff like that, yeah, I could set up code and stuff like that, but still, to literally sit up there and I can't do it. I can't do it. And I know a lot of y'all saying, well, you saying you can't do it, you probably just being lazy. Might be. But my thing is, I'd rather for people that like have years and years of actually hands-on making these games do it. I could give you all the blueprints and the ideas and everything of how to do things. But that, to me, that's everybody play a role when it comes to in development and stuff. Everybody plays a role. There's different roles in game development. All right, let me see. The fear of burning bridges. This one is delicate. Creators don't want to lose assets, lose interviews, lose inside info, be labeled difficult. Understandable, but ask yourself, if your platform is built on authenticity, what costs more? Lost assets or lost credibility? And I don't think anyone would think my credibility disappears if I was asking developers questions or I was talking to any of the developers. Shout out to Don D. I didn't even give you a shout out earlier. Don D205, shout out to you. He's on Twitch. He's on Instagram, Don D205 TV, and he's on Instagram. I mean, Don D205 TV, that's Instagram. And on Twitter, X, he's Don D205. Please go and support that brother. All right. And shout out to Blaster X. X1, Blaster X1. Shout out to you. What real power looks like? No, hold on. Long-term trust with the audience matters more than the short-term proximity of developers. Your audience is more important than the developers. 100%. Check out my shirt. God, come on. Got a million things on. I gotta wash it before I wear it. I don't know if it's gonna come. Y'all gonna be able to see it. No, because it's green. Yeah, it's green. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see this. Yeah, you can't see it. It's my logo on the shirt. You know, I got a green one, black ones, and stuff like that. You know. All right. What real power looks like? Power isn't shouting. Power isn't coordinated. Power is coordinated standards. Imagine this. Multiple creators release deep mechanical breakdowns in the same week. Multiple channels host discussions on AI death. Multiple analysts compare real boxing footage to in-game mechanics. See that right there? That's the thing. I was doing that at one time and I stopped. You put side by side. I did that with EA. You go side by side with the video game and a boxing match. You get the same boxers. This, like, let's say Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. You put them side by side and see how do they characters react. That right there. All right, let me see. Multiple analysts compare real boxing footage to in-game mechanics, not drama. Just professional leverage critique. That will reshape the entire discourse, the entire conversation. The game isn't finished. Undisputed is not a finished game. And that's crazy. We paid full price for an unfinished game. We paid full price for an unfinished game. So what does that say to them when they make another game? Hey, they paid a full price for the unfinished game. And that should be in their mind like, oh, we could give these suckers anything we want. That's how I take it. That might not be their thinking. You know? But I feel everybody should feel disrespected that they paid full price for this game, especially when they bought them $80, and I think some people paid $120 or more, especially with the DLC included. Nobody wouldn't have mind playing for DLC if the DLC was worth it. Nobody wouldn't have mind paying for DLC if it was worth it. It didn't show a boxing fan made the DLC. Remember what y'all used to say? A boxing game made by boxing fans for boxing fans. That's a lie. 100%. You could tell a game that's made by a sports fan. You could tell when a football fan, you could tell they happy. They talk about it. The developers, hey, talking about it, and they breaking it down and stuff. Steel City was scared to even say anything because they didn't have boxing fans on the team. 2K, they had people breaking down basketball, Madden, football, FIFA. You got fans that break that down. The conversations are garbage with Undisputed and boxing games in general. The game isn't finished. Let's make something clear. Undisputed isn't doomed. It's not beyond growth. It's not beyond greatness. But greatness doesn't emerge from comfort. It emerges from friction, from tension, from community pressure that says, we believe you can do this. We believe you can do more. Silence removes friction. Let me see something. Salute Lamont Davis. Appreciate you popping through. What's up, PLO 617? I ain't see you in a minute, PLO. Well, they got another thing coming. Fool me once. Yup. Hey, I know that saying. Lamont Davis said he just stopping by. Appreciate you, man. You stopping by is good enough. You stopping by is good enough for me. Appreciate you. That's all I hope for. Y'all ain't gotta stay here. Just pop in and pop out. Pop in and pop out. Help me get these numbers. Hit the like button and y'all can step off. Because my thing is I'm trying to get in the algorithm. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a famous YouTuber. I'm not trying to get paid for this. My thing is I just want to be in the algorithm so we can have discussions. The more people that see me, the more conversations we can have, the more influence I can have. Developers say, hey, he got numbers. Hey, we got to talk to this guy. And my thing is I'm not going to bend. That's the thing about me. I'm stubborn and everything. I'm not going to bend. Because for one, when we have discussions, I know what I'm bringing to the table. What can be done, what can't be done. And then when they start saying, hey, well, that's because the second thing they're going to say, first they're going to say it can't be done. Then they're going to say it's too expensive. No, we can't do that. It's too expensive. Then I tell them how they can get the money. Then they're going to say, well, it's going to take too long to do. Then I tell them how to do that. Then they're going to come up with a billion excuses. Everything is an excuse. In this era, it's no room for excuses. There's no room for excuses in this era. A question for you. If the next update dropped tomorrow, would you be excited? Be cautiously optimistic? Expect incremental tweaks? Expect structural evolution? Your answer reveals whether standards shift. Your answer reveals whether standards shift. My thing is, if you pick because they make a update tomorrow and be excited, and it might not be nothing major, just something simple, real simple, and you excited about it, that shows the community that the developers could give us anything. And because we're not pushing, I'm the only one pushing. And it's just like they're hearing wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. It's nobody speaking. It's not a lot of people speaking. And I be trying to get everybody to, hey, Back me up, please. Back me up. Sign a petition. Sign the fill out the survey. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. That's like if, and I hate to make this I really hate to make the comparison. Suppose something happened to somebody in your family, and you said ain't no use of protesting because nothing gonna happen. Don't protest because nothing's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen? The same thing's gonna happen to you or somebody else in your family or someone else because you did not say anything or do anything. That's I know it's being extreme, but that's what petitions and things do. It does move things. It does move things. It really does make things happen. This isn't about one game. This is bigger than Undisputed. This is about future of boxing games. If this title stabilizes at good enough, future investors see that as the ceiling. If this title stabilizes at good enough, future investors see that as the ceiling. And I heard rumored that Steel City are getting new investors. I'm hoping that they get Turkey or one of them Saudis to invest in them. And my thing is, I'm hoping that someone from the Saudis are listening to my shows. And I can help y'all get the right people on board. And I know y'all be like, man, you don't know how to hire nobody. You don't know who they need on. I could look at the exact team structure and see what is missing to make a boxing game. I could look at the team structure and see exactly what's missing that they need to make a boxing game, an elite, a historic boxing game. I could give y'all a list. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make the list. Matter of fact, I made a list in a few months ago. It probably got buried because I always got a lot of ideas that I'm posting. All right. Let me see. This is bigger than Undisputed. This is about the future of boxing games. If this title stabilizes as good enough, future investors see that as the ceiling. And if this title is pushed toward elite simulation depth, future studios aim higher. If this title is pushed toward elite simulation depth, future studios aim higher. Studios, not just one company. Studios aim higher. And studios wanted to aim higher. Once Undisputed started dipping, had a quick dip, that scared them. Your silence doesn't just affect today, it shapes tomorrow. To the silent ones, if you stop tweaking, if you stop speaking because you're tired, I get it. But if you stop speaking because it's easier, that's different. The boxing community fought years to get a game back. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. The boxing community didn't fight for years and years to get a game back. I was the only one that was consistent. Everybody, every once in a blue moon, every other month, you see certain people say something. I was consistent every day. Every day. I was so consistent that I was doing it even when I was helping EA. because I knew what kind of game they were making. I still was pushing for a hardcore boxing game, a realistic boxing game. Even back then, Knockout King still pushing. If you don't believe me, ask Kudo. Well, I can't. I don't want to butcher his name, but Kudo from Fight Night Round 3. He remembered me. Be like, Dad, go on, you still doing it, huh? You still at it. I've been doing this for decades, pushing for a hardcore boxing game. And you cannot say a realistic or hardcore boxing game would not sell. Because whoever made one? Who made one? Now that we have one, the conversation should be sharper than ever, not softer. The boxing community fought years to get a game back. Now that we have one, the conversation should be sharper than ever, not softer. This isn't about outrage, it's about intention. The power exists, the audience exists, the desire for realism exists, but power unused doesn't disappear, it decays. And once standards decay, they're harder to rebuild. And my thing is the content creators, like I keep saying, y'all hold more power than y'all think. Nah, Paul, I'm done with Undisputed for good. I'm done supporting this unfinished product. Lamont Davis said that. And I agree with you, Lamont Davis. I agree with you 100%. And you should feel that way. You should feel that way. My thing is, we got to speak up at the community for other companies. We can't just let boxing die down again, because I don't think if Undisputed like fully fell, like if the investors say, no, we're not investing in y'all anymore, and then the studio gonna fold, I don't see another company coming up to make another boxing game if this game is not successful. My thing is, if this game becomes successful, even if Undisputed 2 be successful, that will make other companies make a game. My thing is, we don't need real boxers. Yeah, a lot of y'all want real boxers, but I'm talking about to the companies that want to make a boxing game in general. Hey, let one company make real boxer games, and let the other ones, hey, we're still gonna buy your product. If you make a boxing game with real boxing mechanics, you got different modes like creation modes, you got tournament mode, you have all these different modes. Fans will buy it. And guess what? Boxers will be begging to be in that game. They will be begging to be in that game. Because what's going to happen is the game, if it got great mechanics and everything and all these different modes, and it really respect boxing, and boxing fans gravitate toward it, and these boxers are gonna say, hey, I gotta be a part of this. And a lot of them, they be like, I'll be in for free, or I'll be in for a little bit of nothing. You know how many boxers I know that I have spoken to that said they will be in certain games for nothing? They just want to be a part of the game. And y'all will be shocked. But I'm not putting no names out there because I don't want to mess up, me having them conversations again. Yeah, so let me see. I'm gonna do some quick Q&As. Hopefully I get more people in here. Shout out to the people, 6 people that voted. And my answer for the question that I put out today, do you think SCI is an indie company? And my answer is no. I think SCI is a AAA company. If you look up the standards of a AAA company, SCI is exactly what it is. They have two investors. No, they have investors. They have shareholders. They have 3 studios. That right there, they sold over 1 million copies in 1 week. That is not indie company status. Having a publisher, that is not indie company. Most indie companies are self-publishers. Most indie companies don't have investors. So Steel City is not an indie company. They more like AA, if not AAA. So, you know, Buzz giving them an excuse by saying indie company, that's giving them an excuse. Let me see what PLO said. Facts. I prefer not to have real boxers that have realistic boxing mechanics than the other way around. Exactly. Real boxing mechanics will sell great. The game will sell greatly because then you will get the older people to buy the game. I know companies don't, because they scared of the older generation of boxing fans because the older generation of boxing fans are going to critique them more than the younger fans. Even though there are passionate younger fans, but they don't want people to critique them. But if you make a boxing game with boxing mechanics and no real boxers, it will sell. Love C. Shorty has a fan base. Truth Bound has a fan base. And shout out to Claim Uncut. I just hope Claim Uncut don't let the casual fans change his vision. I just hope he don't let them taint what people are expecting. Shout out to Lamont Davis for popping in. I appreciate you. Shout out to PLO for popping in. I appreciate you. Let me see. Shout out to Precisely. You ain't here, I'm Precisely. Did you pop in earlier? But shout out to Precisely. Shout out to the Wishlist Mafia. Shout out to AJ Pack. Shout out to Leafy. You got to change that name, Leafy. Shout out to Leafy, Pound for Pound Boxing Gang. You know, shout out to everybody that support me. Please hit the like button. Share it if you want to. You know, leave comments if you want me to ask questions. You want me to ask questions like tomorrow and tomorrow's show. You know, if you want me to ask questions and stuff like that. I mean, answer questions. You know, speaking of questions, let me do my quick Q&As. Do my quick Q&As, and then I'm gonna probably end the show. And shout out to Don D. He's very supportive. Very supportive person. Even though he's going through his struggles, he's still supportive. I'm in a struggling point right now. It's not major, but you know, I'm in a struggling situation. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna do these quick Q&As. Question 1: are you blaming content creators for the game flaws? No, but it's a no with a but to at the end. I'm gonna leave it right there. No, but. All right. Developers build the systems, but creators shape the pressure environment around those systems. They're the difference. I'm not saying creators cause flaws. I'm saying they influence how urgently those flaws get addressed. Silence doesn't create problems. It slows the demand for solutions. Question 2. What if creators already gave feedback and nothing changed? What if creators already gave feedback and nothing changed? The creators ain't stay on Steel City like they should have. They did not. They didn't. But that's fair. Burnout is real. But here's the key difference. Private feedback isn't the same as public momentum. See what I'm saying? Private feedback isn't the same as public momentum. When you put them on blast or you say it out in the open, you hold them accountable. That's what the survey serves. That's what the petition helps create. The survey does. Studio responds strongly when feedback is consistent, is visible, it echoes across multiple platforms. It echoes across multiple platforms. It shapes player sentiment. If critique stays behind closed doors, urgency stays behind closed doors too. Question 3. Isn't constant criticism bad for the game's growth? It depends on the type of criticism. Unstructured negativity, yes, harmful. Technical respect, boxing, informed critique. Technical, respectful boxing, informed critique. That's how simulations evolve. FIFA doesn't improve without critique. Madden didn't improve without critique. Simulation genre matured through pressure. Boxing shouldn't be exempt. Question 4. What exactly do you think creators stop talking about? My answer: core systems, AI, adaptability, weight transfer realism, punch consequence logic, stamina, shape and punch velocity, ring generalship mechanics, clinch depth, defensive layering beyond basic block mechanics. The conversation shifts toward surface updates. The conversation shifted toward surface updates. The foundation stopped being the headline. The foundation stopped being the headline. Question 5. What if creators are just enjoying the game? And a lot of them are. Not a lot of them. Some of them are. That's completely valid. Enjoyment isn't the issue. The issue is alignment with previous standards. If someone built their brand on, we want realism, we want simulation, and now that tone is good enough, that's a philosophy shift. Nothing wrong with enjoying it, but own the shift. Question 6. What power does the community realistically have? In a so-called niche genre, a lot. In a so-called, it's not a niche, a so-called niche genre, a lot. Boxing games don't have millions of casual buyers. Boxing games don't have millions of casual buyers, even though they bought 1 million in the first week. But it wasn't only casual people that bought it. It was a mixture. They rely on dedicated fans, streamers, hardcore boxing heads, word of mouth credibility. If sentiment moves, sales projections move. If engagement drops, roadmaps, priorities shift. Roadmap, priorities shift. They didn't even know what to do with that roadmap. That roadmap went here, there, and everywhere. The roadmap just disappeared. They was doing this. They're like, what happened to the roadmap? It disappeared on them. It disappeared on us. If discourse centers on mechanics, mechanics get prioritized. That's leverage. Question 7. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat first before I go into question 7. All right, let me see what I'm saying. Question 7. Are you saying creators should attack the devs? Absolutely not. Attack culture is toxic and counterproductive. What I'm advocating for is structured accountability, film study conversations. Film study conversations. I tried to start that up. Data-driven breakdowns. Data-driven breakdowns. Constructive proposals. Long-form mechanical analysis. That elevates the genre without burning bridges. Question 8. What if the dev team is already doing their best? Question 8. What if the dev team already doing their best? I assume they are. But doing your best and meeting the highest possible simulation standards aren't always the same thing. Developers operate within constraints, budget, deadlines, team size, tech limitations. And I also think is a lot with them being lazy. You know, I hate to say it. I know developers listen to my show, but some of them, it really seems like they're being lazy and they don't have no passion for what they're doing. They see it as it's a job, and if we can milk it, we're going to milk it. We don't care what product we push out. But my thing is that you make a great product, even if they let you go at some point, other companies going to see it like, hey, you were a part of that product, that great product. We want you on our team. You should want to make the best product ever. You should want to sit down and do your research, watch film, and say, does that film match up with the game? Does that video match up with the game? It's like you don't have, it's not like you don't have things that you can compare what you did. You don't, it's no excuse for the game that we get. Community pressure helps prioritize death within those constraints. Community pressure helps prioritize death within those constraints. It's not adversary. You know, it's not like we're going against anybody on the team. It's directional. It's like y'all have no direction. It's like y'all don't care. When a person don't care, they just go any direction. Do you think the community has lowered its expectations? I think fatigue softens its tone. And softened tone gradually becomes softened standards. Not overnight, but slowly. That's what concerns me. Question 10. So what should creators actually do? 3 things. Recenter the conversation on mechanics. Coordinate discussions around simulation death. Stay consistent instead of reacting only to updates. Stay consistent instead of reacting only to updates. You don't need outrage. You need continuity. You don't need outrage. My thing is outrage. I know a lot of y'all don't outrage. If the community see outrage in somebody, they respond to it. Let's keep it a buck. If the community see one of the content creators outraged about something, they support that and they're behind it. What if people are just tired of waiting? That's the most honest question yet. What if people are just tired of waiting? That's the most honest question yet. Waiting without visible, systematic evolution drains energy. But here's the paradox. Silence makes waiting longer. Focus, discourse, shorten it. Silence made waiting longer. Focus, discourse, shorten it. Question 12. Is this episode pessimistic? Nope. It's about optimism. If I believe the community has no influence, this episode wouldn't exist. If I believe the community has no influence, this episode wouldn't exist. The fact that the genre is small means voices matter more. That's hopeful. Question 13. What does the ideal boxing game still need? Adaptive AI tendencies, stamina that reshapes punch mechanics dynamically, true ring positioning consequences, damage states that alter strategy, psychological momentum shifts, clinch systems with tactical layers, footwork rooted in physics, not gliding. The blueprint is possible. My blueprint is possible. The question is, will it be demanded? The question is, will it be demanded? Question 14. Are you going to keep pushing this conversation? Yes. Not emotionally, not dramatically, but consistently, because boxing deserves position. Because boxing deserves precision, and simulation requires standards. My closing cue, reflection. My closing question, reflection. All right. Let's flip this back to you. If tomorrow the community collectively demand elite realism again, will the game evolve? Or has the ceiling already been set? Think about that, because silence answers that question too. Let me see what y'all say in the chat. And that was my last question. All right, salute Lamont Davis, 89. I appreciate you coming through. Salute to PLO 617. Salute to Shaolin FaZe. Shout out to Don D205. Shout out to Maki Pablo. Shout out to the Beast. Shout out to JMMA. Shout out to Ichiro. Let me see. Shout out to there's so many of y'all. Shout out to the Whistlers Mafia, Papanosis. Shout out to AJ Pax, all of y'all. Leafy, all of y'all. And please hit like my like this video. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You know, support me. My thing is, I'm not doing this to get paid or anything. My thing is, I'm doing this to get a boxing game that represents boxing. Just look at my blogs. I don't do this to get recognized or anything. It's just that I wanted other people to do it, but they say, hey, Pro, you do it yourself. So I guess I got to speak. And to me, I'm not that person that has the voice or the charisma to be in front of a camera doing a show. But I'm hoping that I can get people to help me with my movement that I'm doing, to get a realistic boxing game, to get boxing respected and boxing video game. Until the next show, peace.